all. It is 9:39, the West Coast time. It is a little bit late, but I just wanted to come in here. I've been doing multiple lives in Spanish talking about these protests that they have been occurring in the part of California. Uh, and being honest and transparent of what I think about these protests that, instead of helping, they have been completely, it's backpedaling in what we represent inside of the United States of America, or what the Latino population represents in the United States of America. These protests haven't helped. It is a complete disaster of what's on. And basically, there's comments. Welcome to the live chat. Yes, okay, here we are. A complete disaster. And this is what I believe. This is what I truly believe. I know in the account of X, I put that video, and the video was taken down, and it was just um, basically reported constantly by these mercenary progressive liberals. And it's okay, I understand their feelings and their anger. Which I don't understand is these Hispanics, they don't want to be called Hispanics. Latinos, they don't want to be called Latinos. Uh, you know, Mexicans, um, and they were born in the United States of America, but they have Mexican heritage. Um, that they are U.S. citizens. Their birth certificate that they were born in the United States of America. It doesn't say that you were born in Mexico. It says that you were born in the United States of America. The sad thing about it is that, this is the sad thing about it, that we do not have leadership right now, you know, inside of the United States. And the sad thing about it that I'm about to tell you is I'm really, you know, upset. One of them is that these young kids, where are their parents? Their parents, all these young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, where are their parents? What kind of values these Mexican people that they cross, a lot of them, a lot of their parents, they cross the border to give them a better life in the United States. What kind of values have they given them? Because if it is for their parents, they should tell these young kids that the number one deporter in chief that has separated thousands of families and has caused a lot of harm to the Latino and Hispanic community has been Barack Obama itself. And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the criminal migration policies of Bill Clinton. And nobody talks about that, Joe Biden was one of the most incompetent, mercenary presidents against, the sake of immigrants. Under the Biden administration has been an administration where more migrants have died between the limitations of Mexico and the United States. It's a complete disaster what they have done. And talks to them about that. And still, they want to yell, there's no human illegal in land, where they are profiting out of this stolen land. To answer your questions, they're profiting out of this stolen land. It's the most unbelievable thing. They say no human is illegal on stolen land, but still you want to profit out of the capitalist dollar, out of your capitalist lifestyle, and they don't want to revoke their citizenship of U.S. citizens and become Mexican nationals. These are Mexican heritage young kids. They were not born in Mexico like I was. They don't live in Mexico like I live. And, they don't live our lives over here. Over here is extremely different of the life that you live. You are privileged to live in the United States of America. And you are so privileged that you have so many advantages in life. so many advantages in life, and the sad thing about it is that a lot of young kids, they don't teach them how these Democrats and these progressive liberals, how they have been mistreating us, how they have been lying to us, telling us that they were going to fix the immigration policies. Joe Biden, the last one, last said that he was going to document 11 million undocumented individuals. Joe Biden said that not only, he was going to document, he was going to fix the DACA recipients. Never did. It is something that is, it happens every, every president of Democrat president always promises all these things to Latino Hispanic population, and they don't ever, come through uh, with their promises that they say. Um, in this kind of education, they don't educate our young kids. You know, I would like if they are going to protest, manifest themselves. We have a lot of potential inside of the United States of America. We are the intrinsic force of the middle class and the low families. We sustain the Latino population, the Hispanic population. They sustain the economy of the American corporations. It is a reality. We're not going to lie about that. But why don't they go out there, the lawyers, the Hispanic lawyers, the doctors, the ones that they have gotten the opportunity to be a professional with a certificate in the United States of America, they have succeed, entrepreneurs, successful businessmen. Those people, they don't complain about the United States of America. They don't complain about the racism that young liberals they complain about. They don't see this as something they should be complaining about. They see this as an obstacle, and if it is an obstacle, they overcome this obstacle because this is the way of life. Life has obstacles, and we need to over. And right now, we don't have no leadership. Instead of manifesting and letting their voices heard like they want to, they are putting us in a really bad spot, making us look extremely bad. Burning the American flag, the one that gives them to eat, the ones that gives them a better possibility of life. And not only that, acting like Black Lives Matter, acting like Antifa, acting like all of this. We don't behave like this. You don't represent us. And using the I agree with you that I am Mexican and that a lot of the people in the video that I did, they were complaining about I an accent. Well, thank you for that. That means that I have gotten a little bit better in English. But this is the bad thing about it. We don't have no leadership inside of the community. We don't have no, to understand what are we going to do and how we can appreciate that country that has given you so much. A lot of people, they don't understand what happened when Ronald Reagan, one of the best presidents, gave amnesty to a lot of the migrants, undocumented migrants, more than 3 million. He gave amnesty. I'm not saying give amnesty. No, I'm not saying anything about that. The thing that I'm saying is, how did those migrants accomplish that? What did they do to accomplish that? And it was a matter of respect, appreciation for the country that they were living in, but they never burned the flag. They never burned the American flag. All of them, they were appreciative of that country. All of them, they were appreciative to be in the United States of America. These young kids, they don't know about what it is to live over here. They don't know about how it is to live in this economy in Mexico. They don't know how to live over here in the dangerous zones like Tijuana is extremely dangerous. To live here is extremely dangerous. And it's just the most bad thing, and sad. It's sad because they continue to Reagan's big mistake. I don't think that it was a mistake. I don't think that it was a mistake. For a lot of people say that it was a mistake. He's one of the best presidents in history of the United States of America. For me, it was the best president of the United America. But it's debatable. Everybody has freedom of speech. But I believe strongly that these protests are not going anywhere. You're hurting us. You know, you're hurting us a lot. And you're hurting only the community inside of the United States, but you're hurting the Mexican people. You're making us look really bad. The other day they stabbed a young kid in a protest. Or, what are you demonstrating to Donald Trump? What are you telling Donald Trump? This is the way we are. You're not going to do it because it is because of us that you're not going to do it. This is your attitude to the new administration. You think the new administration is going to appreciate what you're doing as we speak right now? You think that they're going to say, oh, you know what? They're protesting. Let's consider, let's help them and give them an opportunity to get some legal paperwork or something like that. I would like to understand where are you going with this, because it is not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere. And it hasn't come to go anywhere. I wasn't live yesterday at my page in TikTok. I have almost like 600,000 followers in TikTok. And, um, I was in a live, and there was a young um, Mexican American lady came on and said, Oscar, can I come on and speak about this? And I had a lot of people coming in and speaking TikTok in Spanish, and she was saying, I don't know, I'm really appreciate the United States of America. I became a mother at a really young age. As she was brought when she was 2 years old with paperwork, legal paperwork, and then she got her residency, and then after that she became a citizen. She said, I became a mother at a really young age, and I gave, I have two kids. The two of them are in college as we speak right now, and I feel appreciated of this country. I never accomplished this in Mexico. I would have never accomplished this in Mexico, and I have accomplished a great life. And even me, I graduated from nursing school, uh, and it's just I was just like, wow, you're a great mom. You're a great example of what a Latin mom or Hispanic mom represents, or a Mexican American mom represents in the United States of America. The fight, to get better and to guide your children, put them in through college or get them a good education. It doesn't even matter if they go to college or not, but show them how to work, and show them to be respectful. And these kind of things, these values, they're getting lost. And it's so sad to see that our community and the Hispanic Americans, people and Mexican Americans, people that we are, you know, not against our people, but we are against what they're doing right now. We are labeled as traitors to our country, Malinches, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronophobic, fatphobic, racist, fascist, bigot, Zionist. We are labeled as this. And so sad to see that, because we're trying to tell you, no, this is not the way that it's supposed to be handled. This is not the correct way. Well, show us the way. It's just we need to make our voices heard. The Hispanic, it's has never been well, there has never been a better time than right now to create a great leader in the United States of America, of a Hispanic and Latino leader. There has never been a time like right now. We have conservative values. Everybody knows that. We believe in capitalism. We're hard workers. The majority of Mexicans, they're not socialists. They're not communists. They like to work. We are family oriented. Everything we do it for family, specifically for our family. We do it, and and not only that, um, we are believers in God. So the incredible thing about this is that all these values that we have are so rich to have. Uh, you know, it is just it's so they're so and they are burning American flag inside of the United States of America. That is absolutely disgusting. That is an act of division. That is an act of war. And it's just it's so bad. There doesn't need to be a leader of a subgroup. I'm not saying a leader in a protest. I'm saying a leader right now to educate our people. You don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying, leader in our community, a leader to educate our people, a leader to lead our people to understand what they're doing wrong and to appreciate that country, that, that is the country that is giving them to eat, giving them a better life. That's what we need. We need a great leader for that. Somebody to teach, somebody to have the time you know, to educate. Why is our people? Why is our people? I don't understand. And I'm trying to be generous with you answering your questions, but that's in general speaking, and I'm a Mexican, so I'm speaking in general. And if that terminology it doesn't go with you, well, I understand. We need to understand that to teach these kids. It's like the progressive white liberals they were doing with Antifa, completely destroying streets, and they completely destroyed with Black Lives Matter. They destroyed Colorado, they destroyed Minnesota. And those were progressive white liberals. And now you see a lot of white liberals infiltrated in these kind of groups. They're the same pro-Palestine, the same agitators with Black Lives Matter, same agitators with, division, the same agitators with Antifa. These are the same progressive, mercenary, activist, white liberals that they're infiltrated in these movements, and they don't have nothing to do in these movements, but they want to be a part of the movement, be radical, be, divided, divisive, do all these things. And we have to understand that that is not the way we represent, you know, the Mexican people, and the Mexican Americans. The ones that I've seen right now, I feel that what they're doing, it is making us look really bad. It is not helping us at all. You guys are not helping. And this is the most incredible thing about this is that you guys are supposed to be boycotting the Super Bowl, and boycotting also Coca-Cola. But I bet yesterday you guys were making that cut in the backyard watching the Super Bowl. And this is the different thing. You forget about it. You have a great privilege. Born in the United States of America, I have gone in through several places where no journalist has been, and we have done it 4 times in the Darien Gap. It's the most dangerous place for the world. I have seen migrants die. I have seen migrants lost their children, children drowning, women being raped, abused. And I've seen it so much in Panama and in the jungle in Colombia, in Central America, caravans, children losing their lives dehydrated. These people are losing their lives on a fallacy, on a fake dream that is, going to the United States and thinking that everything is going to be easy. But look how unappreciative you guys are. You guys were born in the United States of America. These people are dying to get an opportunity to get to that land. And you guys are burning the flag. That's how irresponsible it looks. That's the thing that really gets me upset. That a lot of these people, the crimes against humanity that the Biden administration did to all of these hundreds of thousands, that they died on a fallacy, thinking that everything was going to be okay as soon as they arrived to the United States. And they died on the intent to the United States and to get a better life. And you guys are in the United States of America privilege, and your guys are burning the American flag, stabbing. I'm not generalizing, but there was a group that was stabbing a young kid. It's just so incredible, the unappreciative, ideology that you guys have. And I believe that it's time for these young kids to get educated. You know, you're yelling, no, human is illegal on stolen land. Do you know actually the history of that? Do you know actually El Tratado de Guadalupe, the Treaty of Guadalupe, the Treaty of Guadalupe? Do you know who Santana was? How he sold our land? You know how, yes, we lost the war and he sold our land. Do you know that? You know, it's amazing for me that you guys are yelling no human is illegal on stolen land, but you're yelling in California, in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Texas, and you're not yelling it in Mexico. You're yelling it over there. Meanwhile, you're capitalizing of that stolen land that you so much wanted to yell was that it's supposed to be from Mexico. So, what is your whole point of yelling if you're still going to live there? If you're yelling no human is illegal in stolen lands because you want to defend that land from Mexico, you don't live in Mexico. You live in the United States, and your birth certificate says that you were born in the United States of America and that you are privileged to be born in the land of the free and the home of the brave, that a lot of people, as I just mentioned, have died for that right that you have, that is freedom. A lot of migrants, I have seen them die on this dream want to accomplish to go to the United States of America. Meanwhile, you're burning a flag. These immigration policies for all of these young kids so much dislike the Trump policies. They don't even compare, they don't even fathom to what Barack Obama did to our population. They don't even compare this much of what Barack Obama did to us. Barack Obama deported millions of Latinos and Mexicans. He separated so many families. And he also he created the private prisons to be a great business for his pockets. He created the most horrible war with the cartel in Mexico, with his strategy that it failed, that it was called artillery, Fast and the Furious. Do you know about that? Do you know that not only that he, you know, because of his failed strategy, so many people died between Mexico and the United States. But do you know that he was the number one funder of Iran? He gave more than billions of dollars to Iran. And Iran fed the proxies that is Hezbollah and Hamas. You know about that? Do you know about all of those things that, that it was a complete disaster what he did to us? And you're talking about that Donald Trump, you know, it is the racist president. Do you know how racist Barack Obama was to us? Have you heard him speak? How he talked about people coming into the United States and they were going to be deported and turned back? Have you heard Hillary Clinton speaking about how everybody's going to be returned back and deported? Have you heard? Don't you deserve to be treated better? Your behavior, it is backpedaling our community. It is not helping Latinos. It is not helping. It is backpedaling. Do you know that Jerry Nadler said we need illegal to pick the rotten lettuces that there are in California's? We need illegal immigrants. The Democrats, that they so much despise that word as illegal, and they use it because they know they need to invite that in, and they want to keep us at a lower social class. That is the much that we deserve for them. For them, we are not good to be entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, engineers, senators, congressmen. For them, we are good to just work on the farms. This is why I'm saying that the protests. Imagine a civil, you know, a civil protest. If you want to do a civil protest, do it civilly. A civil protest with people that they have their diplomas, that they have graduate colleges. Imagine that. You will wake up so many people who will say, my God, we have a lot of Latinos that they're so well prepared. There's more than 70 million legal American citizens, Latino American citizens with Latino heritage. And Mexican citizens, my God, there's a lot. Mexican U.S. citizens with American citizens with Mexican heritage. Let me correct myself. Why we have to go out there and burn flags? Why we have to go out there and behave like Black Lives Matter? Why we have to go out there and behave like Antifa? Why you wave the trans flag with the Mexican flag? What is the trans lives matter to do with this? Why? Why you have to be, you know, radicalizing and hitting police officers? Why? Is this the way to lift up your voice? This is not the way. And you haven't helped at all. It hasn't helped at all. It hasn't created no, uh, you know, awareness to what is actually happening. It is actually hitting us harder. And what you're doing, it is that you're going to provoke for the immigration policies to be much stronger. If you're complaining about it right now, hold on to your seats because you're poking the somebody else different is in power. This is not Joe Biden. This is not Kamala Harris. This is Donald Trump and JD Vance. They do not play around. Everything that they have said, they have complied. Every single thing that everybody is saying, my God, he's doing it. He said it on a rally, he's doing it. So by now, you need to understand whether you behave or there's consequences that they're going to come. And this is not a good message to Donald Trump to let him know. Let's get some work permits. Let's get some kind of a program. Let's get some kind of a other policy to be passed. Something. Look what they're doing. They're appreciating. They're waving the America. They want to be here. Something new. Look at all these people that they graduated with diplomas and these immigrants that they have gotten way better in our country, that they are appreciating our country. You know, this is the one of the things that we need to understand. You're living in a different country. You're not living in Mexico. You're, you know, one of the I get upset with something these statements of some migrants that happen sometimes. They say, I was persecuted. Let's go by countries. Venezuela. I was persecuted by the regime. There's poverty, that I can't afford, and there's so much persecution. Let's go a little bit up to Central America. I couldn't live in El Salvador before Bukele because the MS extortioned me, and every day I was getting beat up and I could go home. Let's go to Honduras. The insecurity and the assaults and the extortion of the cartel was so bad. I needed to leave Honduras. Let's go to Guatemala. I had to leave Guatemala. The killings and the assassinations and the kidnappings are continuously. And the economy is not getting better. So you had to leave Guatemala. Let's go to Nicaragua. There's a regime over there in Nicaragua. You don't have freedom of speech. They're actually burning churches. And I'm a Christian, so I feel persecuted. So you leave, right? Let's go to Mexico. I had to leave Michoacan. I had to leave Guerrero because persecuted by the cartel. I cannot leave over there. So all of that, you have gone through that process, right? That is a horrible process. And then you arrive to the border and you're being let in and to the border. And when you're being let to the border, one of the first things that you do is that a lot of you complain about racism. But almost you got killed in Guatemala. Almost you got assassinated in El Salvador by the MS gang. Almost you got kidnapped in Honduras. And you were living in Venezuela, communist and socialist regime. And in Mexico, you were being persecuted by the cartel. But then when you cross the border and you jump that wall, get into the United States of America, and you're being admitted and vetted, and you're getting 100% possibility to live the American life, the first thing that you do is that you complain about white supremacy. So now The enemy, it is not the regime that you almost getting killed over there. The enemy is the white man. Now, all of these people that they're saying that all these racism, have you seen the quantity of that there are Latino and Hispanics, that they're in the military, that they're in the National Guard, that they're in the Army, in the Marines, in the Coast Guard? There's a lot of Latinos and Hispanics. My God, there's a lot, hundreds of thousands of them. Have you seen when you go to the U.S. Customs that they're in the border? The majority of them are Latinos and Hispanics. When you go to the patrol, their last name is not Skotsovic, or their last name is not Johnson. Their last name is Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Perez, Lopez. Everybody wants a better job. Everybody wants an opportunity. We need to understand that this new administration, it is not a surprise for me. I have been, covering the 4 years of Biden, and before that, I covered many years of the past administration also. And particularly these 4 years of Biden, we knew that this disaster was going to happen in the border. I said it when he started his government. And ever since, Donald Trump has not rested. He has gone into rallies, said multiple times, this is what I'm going to do as soon as I get to the presidency. I'm going to do a mass deportation. I'm going to secure the border. I'm going to lower down this. I'm going to increase security at the border. He has said it. He said it many times. Many, many times. He did not say it once that, oh, surprise right now. Oh my God, just a surprise. No, this is not a surprise. You should have prepared for this. It is a decision they took. When you arrive to the United States of America, for those people that did not enter to the front door, I made this example that I was talking to you. You had Exhibit A, that it was do it through the CBP-1 or through the front door. But B, to pay the cartel to cross illegally to the United States of America and to enter the United States. So you choose Exhibit B. Let's say a hypothetical example. You pay the cartel from there. Wrong, you're doing an illicit act in Mexico, but you pay the cartel, right? To cross you illegally. You cross illegally to the United States. Then you made it and you say, man, I made it. I crossed illegally, I made it. Now I can go to my place and work. But you're going to be hiding all the time. You're going to be running away from the authorities, hiding from the Border Patrol, and hiding from ICE. Then let's say 5 years after you cross illegally, you're still undocumented in the United States of America. You met a girl, their name is Maria. Let's say an example. And you got her pregnant and you got a family and now you got a child. The child is a U.S. citizen. He was born in the United States. But let me just tell you, then you get stopped one day. And an ICE agent says, where are your documents? So after 6 years, you get stopped. And then the Border Patrol comes and says, sir, you're illegally in the country of the United States of America. You're going to have to return back home. Then you're going to start saying, man, you're separating families. No, they're not. You knew about this. You knew from the start. The ICE agent is going to tell you, remember that time when you had the opportunity to choose Exhibit A instead of Exhibit B? But you choose Exhibit B. And you knew the consequence that it could happen if you did it the other way. Now that it's actually happening, it's just right there in the law. Article 8, Section 1325 of the immigration law, it says that if you enter the country illegally, you will be stopped, detained, and be judged by a federal judge. Article 8, Section 1326 of the immigration law of the United States, it says that if you re-enter after being deported from the United America, you will be charged under the federal law, and you can do as 5 to 10 years in prison of the federal system. So there's a law that under Biden, nobody was obeying and nobody was executing the law because everybody was part of the global compact of migration. See, a lot of people enter irregularly through non-ports of entry, and everybody was being let in. All these NGOs that they were now, that I have been yelling to the roof for more than 5 to 6 years to stop these NGOs, and to basically investigate these NGOs. I've been saying it for so many years, and stop the federal grants to these NGOs. Now, all of a sudden, that they have stopped, there's no entrance. But before, you had all these access doors that you can enter, and that you can swim across the Rio Grande, and NGO will be right there, process, DHS, be let go. This is how you got 340,000 children lost inside of the United States. So this is one of the things that I am concerned. I am concerned as a Mexican. Where is our next generation of Mexican American? That is a wrong term. It's supposed to be American with Mexican heritage. But I will say it like this just for the cost. Where our next generation of Mexican Americans are going? Are they well educated on the subject? Are they going to be justifying themselves that we are sellouts, that this is xenophobia, or this is racism, and that this is not helping at all? It hasn't helped, and it did not help, not even one squat. Nothing has changed. And nothing will never change right now as we speak. And we need to have great leadership for us to create a change that it can give us a possibility, a different possibility. I'm talking about doing it. I'm talking about putting facts on the table and saying, this is what we need, this is what we can approach, this is what we can give, this is giving. Do we have a possibility of a permit, or to amplify this possibility of, a program, or what can we do? Entering a country in the United States of America is categorized as a crime. You are not going to change that. Let me just be honest with you, and let me just label with you. The United States of America, when they exercise their law. I just told you, if you cross illegally to the country of the United States, Article 8, 1325 is a violation of that code, and you'll be arrested and detained. Exactly the same as Article 8, Section 1326. So entering the country of the United States of America illegally, it is. But for the progressive liberals, they yell, no human is illegal and stolen, and also migration is not a crime. Understand it is not a crime, because I believe also that migration is a human right. But in those human rights, you have a process and you have a law that you need to obey. I have the right to go wherever I want. I have a right to move, and I have the freedom to do that. If I lived in a communist and socialist country, I would not have the freedom to do that. But thank God that I live in Mexico and I have the freedom, Article 6 and 7 of my Constitution, to exercise my freedom of speech and to move around, right? Article 11 of the Mexico. But if I want to go and have the freedom to migrate, as I have gone to so many countries, and God has provided me a job so I can go and do my journalistic work in parts of the world, everywhere I go, I'm a migrant. If I go to work to Panama, I'm a migrant. If I go to Colombia, I'm a migrant. Costa Rica, I'm a migrant. Central America, all those countries that we have been, I'm a migrant. Ukraine, migrant. Poland, I was a migrant. France, I was a migrant. Belgium, I was a migrant. Israel, I was a migrant, of course. Madrid, I was a migrant. Jordan, I was a migrant. Why I was a migrant? Because I was migrating to that place, and on my transit just to go and visit. But what I was doing, nobody violated my right to go to that place. As I arrived to every place, passport, and I showed my visa, and they let me in. And that was it. Nobody interfered on my human right to go and migrate, to go and move around, to go and transit and visit. Nobody interfered with my right. Why? Because It's a right, but you have a process to do it. You have a law, and every country has a law, and we need to respect that. This is one of the things that it is sadly not being educated in our next generation of young kids. And because we talk like this, and because we don't agree happening, we are being categorized as patria, sellouts, traidores a la patria. They tell us this, and we are living in Mexico. How is that possible? That we are traitors to our own land when we are the ones over here in Mexico. You are not living in Mexico. You are an American citizen that has Mexican heritage, and that you're protesting radically and not accomplishing anything right now. If you think your voices are being heard, your voices are being heard across the country, but look at your actions. Everything can be torn down. You can do one beautiful action in a protest, but then you will do something radical, and everything that you have done is of value. This is the reason why peaceful unity, appreciation to the land that it has given you so much, appreciation to the land that has given you life, giving you food, giving you clothing, giving you education, giving you your streets and your roads. You have something beautiful that your children can go out sometimes 8, 9 o'clock at night. We don't have that over here. The women in Mexico, they're afraid to go out at night because of the kidnappings and the children. They're afraid to go out at night because of the kidnappings and the children. It's not easy to live over here. So, hopefully, a leader will rise in the United States of America. And, for the United States already has a leader that is Donald Trump for the American people. I'm just saying to educate our people and to let them know that it is not helping at all. There's multiple people that want to ask me questions. I don't have my glasses, so question. If I go to Mexico, isn't it my responsibility to know the Mexican law? Why do the liberals believe it is not immigrants' responsibility to learn the U.S. law? They're liberal. They are liberals. That is the reason why. What can you expect? They're liberals. They don't believe in the law. They're anarchists, the majority of them. The new progressive liberal is really an anarchist. Let's see what other questions. I hope Mexico will get a good leader that will make Mexico safe and prosperous. Híjole, there is a lot of people right now that they are going to. One of them is Eduardo Verástegui, that I believe that he has a lot of, but he needs to be more open about, financial situations, not only about the trafficking, but financial. How are we going to grow as a country? Lili Tellez, that's another woman that she's a senator. She's extremely smart, and I believe that she could be a great leader. And the conservative political party in Mexico did not choose her because they knew that she was going to win. And it was a strategy to let the left honestly win. And this is the thing that I'm afraid of, that our country of Mexico can be easily controlled by one narrative and one political party, exactly what the Democrats wanted, with this mass migration to the United States of America. They were just, getting futures for the Democrats in 10 to 15 to 20 years. If you look at, what is happening right now in the United States, and if you look at it, if the Democrats would have won the election, God forbid, but if they would have won, look at what would have happened, 15 years. Republicans will not be a political party anymore. They will be bought off, or they would exist, but it will not make a lot of difference. It will not be like, oh wow, it's a political party that actually is competing to win an election. exactly like Venezuela, exactly like Nicaragua, exactly like Russia, exactly like Cuba, like all these communist countries. Question: we have bad and violent cities over here. So why does we still gotta live here and not jump no walls? You have violent cities, but it's not even comparable to what we have. So you are extremely privileged to live where you live. Believe me, I know what I'm doing. There's violent cities, but it's not as a category as what we have over here. And what we have over here is really dangerous. I'm just being honest with you. And if you want to call it BS, just check what are the top 5 cities of violence and delinquents in the world due to homicides and activity. The majority are from Mexico. Have you seen, this is an experience that I want to tell you. This whole week in Tijuana, they have found multiple times body parts and boxes in front of plazas, schools, different places in Tijuana. Body parts, dismembered body parts. That's what the cartel does. Do you have that over there? Do you have multiple kidnappings, extortion from the cartel? You don't have those things. Please stop lying because of that. You don't have those things. And it is extremely different over here, extremely dangerous over here. Um, Way different than the life in the United States. You've been in Compton? Yes, I have been. And Brooklyn? No, but it's non-different. It's not even comparable to over here. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you are, and a lot of the people right here is going to tell you you are completely incorrect. It's if I can pull out, just go to Google and just Google which are the most violent cities in the world. If Brooklyn, Compton pops out, I'll be, no, it's not. I'm sorry. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're privileged, really. You're extremely privileged to live in the United States of America. We have arsonists burning buildings in Portland, but nothing like you are discussing at all. It's a completely different scenario. We have a cartel war over here. Listen, look what is happening to Culiacan. The cartel, it's uncontrollable. What is happening in Michoacan is what is happening in Guerrero. Cartel runs the states. It's, you're not living that. Really, you're not. Puro Sinaloa, hijo de chingada. Puro Sinaloa, ahí donde están los camarones más ricos del mundo. Saludos, saludos. ¿Cómo está mi gente de Chinola? Speaking the truth of her to work. Yes. Let me just give you right now. Google. Let's just say las ciudades más violentas del mundo. There you go. Oh, look. You wanna see? There you go. Which is the most violent right there? It says Tijuana. Where do I live? In Tijuana. Look at the second one, Acapulco. Look at Caracas. And the fifth one, Ciudad Victoria, another Mexican city. I just Googled. It doesn't say Brooklyn. Tijuana, Acapulco, Caracas, and Ciudad Victoria. You're comparing yourself with, it's, no. You are, now look at American cities. I'm looking at the most dangerous cities in the world, my friend, not in the United States of America. I'm looking at the dangerous cities, the most dangerous cities in the world. That means the world, I don't know if you have heard, but the United States of America is part of the world. And these are the top four, right there. The world, not Mexico. Caracas is not Mexico, my friend. Caracas, it is not Mexico. Caracas is in Venezuela. The world, right here, doesn't even say South Africa. Let me just go and see all the cities. Uh, let's just rank. Tijuana, number one. Caracas, Acapulco, that is Mexico. Caracas, Venezuela, number three. Number four, Ciudad Victoria, Mexico. Number five, Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. Number six, Irapuato, Mexico. 7, City of Guyana, Venezuela. Number 8, Natal, Brazil. Number 9, Fortaleza, Brazil. Number 10, Ciudad Bolívar, Venezuela. Number 11, until 11, Ciudad del Cabo, South Africa. 12, Belém, Brazil. Number 13, Cancún, Mexico. Number 14, Feria de Santana, Brazil. Number 15, 15, San Luis, United States. Number 16, Culiacan, Mexico. How many of cities of Mexico that I have mentioned you, my brother, until now? Number 17, Barquisimeto, Venezuela. Number 18, Uruapan, Mexico. Number 19, Kingston, Jamaica. Number 20, Ciudad Obregón, Mexico. Number 21, Marceo, Brazil. Number 22, Ciudad de la Conquista. And so on and so on. None of that means you have the right to kick in the back door instead of knocking. Who said that has the right? Who said that? Now you're jumping into another topic because I just showed that you were wrong. Now you're jumping into another topic, my friend. But God bless you. Thank you so much for joining in. 55 minutes going into the feed. God bless you, every single one of you. It's late. It's 10:23, 10:34 in the evening. Oscar, in your opinion, do you think the cartels will ever take up precedence in the United States? They already are. This is why you have to eliminate them by within. You're the number one consumer of fentanyl. You're the number one distributor of fentanyl. And you're the number one in the world with more addiction and deaths to fentanyl. Number one buyer of cocaine and synthetic drugs. Also, you're the number one buyer of child trafficking. This is why you have more than 340,000 children lost. It's a reality. And the most aggravated thing is that you're the number one distributor also of illicit artillery into Mexico. The cartel traffics from back and forth. You have a big problem inside. Oscar, if someone wants to do what you do, how do they go about doing? Don't mention names, just mention the problem. That is what it is. Don't just mention the problem. As soon as you mention the name and hit them in the pockets, that's the problem. So you have to don't mention the name, just the problem. It's really simple. But you have to also be extremely well knowledgeable of the situation and responsible for what you're saying. because Mexico is number 3 in the world assassinations towards journalists. So, it's extremely dangerous for us over here. Really easy to get hurt as a journalist. Extremely easy to get hurt. The United States does not have this problem. Of course, Mexico has this problem, and it has been, before the new president came in, more than 35 political candidates got assassinated. This was in 2024. A lot of them beheaded. It's not. uh, I have to admit, I was skeptical years ago. Because I was so on. Thanks for you. I'm more appreciated. Thank you so much, Kelly B. Uh, so, uh, so what we don't run from the. Oh, you right, really shocking, huh? Well, they don't look at the reality of how lucky they are to live in the United States of America. That's that they need to realize how lucky they are to live in the United States. Give it a like to the video, share the video, like the video, share the video. Thank you so much for joining in. 59 minutes going in, talking about this topic of the protest. God, stay safe. Thank you so much for sharing, liking the video, sharing the video. Good night. Have a blessed night. And like we always say, God's plan is our mission. God bless.